getting results is important, but you don't have to have all the answers.
Mm,
If you can ask some powerful questions, so that's what curiosity really, really means to me is how are you demonstrating forward thinkingness?
mhm,
And sometimes those powerful questions is how you get that in. Not just being factual all the time, but
mhm.
asking really good questions. For me, I've witnessed it be a career accelerator.
Right. Hello, world, and welcome to another edition of Leadership Sovereignty Podcast. We are excited. We have a very, very special guest with us. Terry, how you feeling today?
Man, I done got my workout in, so I'm ready. I got the adrenaline, the endorphins, whatever it is, it's they're moving. So
All
yeah,
right.
I picked up some 35 pounds, man. It's killing
Oh,
me.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. I see you. I see you. All right. Well, without further ado, I want to introduce our guest for today, Miss Shachella James. Shachella, welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us. How are you this morning?
Thank you. I am wonderful. Thank you for the invitation. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yes, 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 absolutely. So, for all of our listeners, a little bit background about Stella. She has over 17 years of technology experience at Centerpoint Energy, covering roles such as VP of Technology of Operations, VP of IT Infrastructure, and currently serving as the VP of Enterprise Systems. Her span reaches enterprise systems, platform solutions, infrastructure, business services, aligning technology and strategy with business operations. Educationally, she holds a BBA in Management Information Systems from the University of Texas. I'm sorry, from Texas A&M University.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's that.
uh-oh, you know
Yeah,
what? You almost
yeah.
started a fight right there.
Oh, you ain't
I'm
kidding,
telling you.
boy. For people not in Texas, that's a big
Right.
deal.
That is a
Hey,
big deal. Gigamed.
Also, an MBA from the McComb School of Business at the University of Texas, Austin,
Right.
and a cybersecurity certificate from Cornell University. All right. So her leadership expands beyond tech. She's deeply engaged in inclusion and diversity initiatives, especially STEM education and board service. So again, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. All of those experiences have played a huge role in who I am today. And I'm hoping that it's going to contribute just a little bit, not just in terms of education, professional service to the conversation that we have. I'm excited.
Oh,
Let's
I
go.
know it will. I know it will.
Mhm.
I know it will. So, Sachella and I served together in a different organization, and we were having a conversation. I don't know if you remember this. We were having a conversation. We were at dinner, and she said, "You know, something that has always been on my mind is curiosity, and how
Right.
mm,
curiosity could really serve you in your career. And we need to talk about that." And I was like, "You know what? We're gonna have you on the show to do that." So here it is. We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna dive into it. Well, so let's start with a warm up. So what's one thing about you that most people in your professional life don't know?
I'm really going to get real personal in the sense that many people don't know that I enjoy running and walking half marathons.
Nice.
I'm actually preparing for my 12th one with a group of friends. So that you lifted 35 pounds this morning is exciting to me, but put some steps with those weights too. Not many people know that I'm an avid professional improvement for my personal health type of person.
oh,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
awesome.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
love
Awesome.
that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Me too.
And also too, because that's one of those four pillars that we talk about here, right? And when if you don't take care of your temple, man, it can't give back to you. So I love that, and definitely want to dig into because I ran one half marathon,
Okay.
and man, I'm like, I don't think I can move for the next 10 days. So
You know what? That's a topic for another podcast because it really is a study in resilience. The fact that I've done it 12 times just really shows that once you get it in you and you just keep pushing that envelope to go further and further, it does make you ask some questions. Why haven't I done this before? Or what mental block did I put on myself that I stopped
Wow. Ooh,
That's
and didn't do
Stephanie,
it
good.
again? So yeah, we got
that
to bring
is
that
good.
one back.
We
Yes.
have to. A study in
Yeah.
resilience. Ooh, boy,
That that
because Ralph knows that that's the kind of stuff that gets me going. I like a good fight. I like
Yeah.
a good
Oh
fight.
my
So
God.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. So, Shachella, when you hear the word curiosity, what does that mean for you personally?
Well, I am going back to when we had dinner because it actually was a phenomenal conversation. There were so many things going on in my space and head at that time that it really brings to me curiosity, brings to bear progress based on innovation
Mhm,
and leadership acumen
mhm,
that it really demonstrates that getting results is important, but you don't have to have all the answers.
mm,
If you can ask some powerful questions, so that's what curiosity really, really means to me is how are you demonstrating forward thinkingness?
mhm,
And sometimes those powerful questions is how you get that in. Not just being factual all the time, but
mhm,
asking really good questions. For me, it's been, and I've witnessed it be a career accelerator for other people.
mhm,
If you just stack some things up side by side, and I'm not really just leaning on just credentials, but what have you done in the workplace together?
mhm,
The credentials you brought to bear, the people that you've actually led. When you start putting those things side by side,
mhm,
what is the real difference is the ability to demonstrate the forward thinkingness
mhm,
and that thought leadership. I've really just had an epiphany. It comes from asking really good questions. It is the ability to connect the dots
mhm.
and help people to see a bigger picture and demonstrate a willingness to learn before
Yeah.
you leave. So I
Oh,
know
that's
I
good.
said a lot, but that's what curiosity really, really means to me.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Terry, any thoughts about that? I think we lost your audio, Terry.
I want to make sure I wasn't passing on any background noise. So I have a 22-year-old, I have a 20-year-old, and a 17-year-old. And, you know, we're in that space where, curiosity is kind of natural, right? Where
Hmm.
you're trying to explore life, you're trying to find out who you are. And one of the biggest challenges that I see um for me and them in this space, right? Because I have a lot of answers, right? Because there's a lot of water under the bridge, right?
Hmm.
How would you how would you encourage a season and that, so let's take this and like translate it into, the corporate space or even a mentee space or mentor space. How do you foster that curiosity and educate on how to ask the right questions, or what should be the framework for your question or the framework for your curiosity, because there's all kind of curiosity, right? There's some things you just don't know about. You want to experience it, right? I want to be in the moment. um I've never been exposed to that, and I just want to try it, right? I mean, so I see parallels in being a young adult, right? And then I see parallels into being, I'll just say, kind of brand new or within the first 5 or 7 years of your career, right? How do you foster the right kind of curiosity?
Yeah, I'm a parent too. I have an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old, and she's soon to be 22. So fi- finding myself getting out of the way so that she can foster, blossom, and same thing for my son. But just in terms of a leadership principle, I would say there's three curiosity driven leadership principles that guide me every day. And how I would ask you to translate this to the young adults in your lives. Tell them to lead with learning. Never let a title be a limit to your curiosity. So,
Mm,
in the sense of the new person in the workplace, let's just call them the analyst. all the way up to that C-level person, CEO, as a matter of fact, using those ability to lead with learning to bend your personal arc to what I call being a learn it all as opposed to being a know it all.
Mm,
Mm.
We do come with a lot of experience, and our coworkers may not appreciate that sometimes too, just like our kids may not. But if we approach that leading with learning it all as opposed to knowing it all, that
mhm,
Mm.
helps us to position the questioning. The second thing in terms of a principle is ask to elevate.
mm.
So
Mm.
when
That's good.
helping your young adult and even the people, I'm going to parallel the young adult and the people in in the workplace quite a bit. Ask to elevate. Basically, frame your question such that it actually uplifts the other person
Mm,
as opposed to just clarifying your own confusion.
Okay,
mm.
you didn't just help me right there. Okay, we can let's shut the show down. I gotta go have a conversation. I dropped the mic. Oh my gosh, that's
That was so
brilliant right
good.
there. Ask to elevate.
Ask
Oh
to
my
elevate.
gosh.
And so, like, what are some ways that you could do this? What you can exemplify? So, focus on the strengths, not the gaps. So, usually in a corporate setting, for sure, we go in with why didn't this work?
Mhm,
I know I've asked that question many times, but instead of saying why didn't this work, what worked well, and
mhm,
what can we build
Mm.
on?
mm,
Just
Mm.
flipping that perspective a little bit, and then you shifting the problems into possibilities. So what
Mm.
went wrong may have been the original question, but
mhm,
what opportunities do you see to strengthen this situation as opposed to just what went wrong? So shifting from the problem into a possibility. Now here's the thought too,
mhm.
is tailor your question such that you invite vision, not
Hmm.
just explanation.
Oh
Wow.
boy.
Okay?
Oh
Ooh, that's
man, this
good.
getting better.
Can't Instead of saying, "Can you explain this decision?" Just as
Mhm,
an example, again, we're going for vision here. If you had no constraints, how would you approach this situation?
mm,
It's just a different way of getting to um, answering, yeah, this is how we got here, but the ideal solution could look like this instead. And that
mhm,
way they can just kind of foster on the bigger picture as opposed to explaining how we got to this point. And then here's one additional thing too is encourage personal agency.
mm,
So again, we're helping our young adults, we're helping the people in the workplace. Typically, we get a lot of this finger pointing going on. So instead of saying who is responsible for fixing this,
mhm.
we say, what part of this challenge can you influence the most?
Oh, that's good.
Mm.
Right?
That's
So that
good.
person is taking on some personal agency for solving a problem. And we're using curiosity in a way, again, back to we're asking to elevate
Mhm.
as opposed to incriminate, if you will.
Oh, that's good.
And then
That's real good.
another tactic that I would recommend as we're helping folks with their questioning is build a culture of curiosity. So, in a sense that you're rewarding the learning atmosphere, you're rewarding um, asking the good questions, not just getting the results. Is what are we doing to stimulate the
Mhm,
conversation and
mm.
advance it?
Oh,
So,
that's fantastic.
That was
so
a lot there. Wow.
that is a lot. So you build a culture of curiosity. You're leaning in to learn, and you're asking to elevate, as opposed to just hard, direct questions. You gotta think. Questions are something you have to think about, right?
Yeah.
You want to come with what's top of mind, but sometimes you need to pull yourself back in and frame it
Mm,
with a bolder premise in mind.
mm, mm.
I
That's so
love
good.
that. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
That's so
I'll be
good.
sending a tithe on that. I'm telling you, man, you just don't know. You just don't know.
That is so good. That's so good. So
It is
so
good.
so Chella, how would you say curiosity creates confidence and visibility, right? As you continue to do it more and more.
Um, You know, um, I appreciate that I don't know it all. And because I have gotten better
Mhm.
at asking questions, I get a lot of that's a good question.
Mhm.
And that response alone tells me I'm engaging other people.
Mm.
And that builds so much confidence in me because, and I encourage it in other people too,
Mhm.
because it really does bring other people along. One of the most defining points of leadership
Mhm.
is how you bring other people along with you.
Mm.
A leader with no followers, in a sense, is just an idea, right? How you going to
Right.
get things done?
Mhm.
And people have to be persuaded. They have to feel included.
Mhm.
They have to be informed, but not because you know it all, but because you've brought them along. And one way to do that is literally to frame those good questions. So that's how it has built confidence in me. I have literally been not unique to me, but I've experienced it so many times being the only female in the room,
Mhm.
being the only person of color in the room.
Mhm.
Long ago, I was the youngest person in the room, but time has shifted.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership Sovereignty Podcast. If today's conversation helped you grow in your leadership, influence, or your career, take a moment to visit leadershipsovereignty.com. There you'll find exclusive resources, free guides, and ways to stay connected to our community of leaders who are building purpose and success. Don't forget to rate, review, and share this episode with someone who's on the rise in their career. Until next time, lead boldly, lead with purpose, and continue to walk in sovereignty. Take care.